Yeah, let's start our thing. Let me log into AWS account first. It's been already logged in. Sorry.
Recording in progress.
So we were on the application architecture flow, like in the real time, the applications what we work are the like kind of three-tier architecture or n-tier architecture based applications. So those applications we will not keep in the normal default VPC. We will create our own VPC thing, and our own VPC will be divided into the some sections which are called subnets. But the likely recommended subnets are public subnet, private subnet, and then the which is called app subnet, and then the database subnet. So you have seen that how the flow will work. If you want to enter into the VPC, always the gateway is the IGW1, and then within VPC, always we work with the private IP, one subnet, another subnet, if you want to access anything. And uh, the components in the public subnet, we will create major components of the load balancers and then the bastion, and applications will be purely on the app subnet. So we were running applications previously. When I say applications, we created EC2 mission and then installed Apache or Nginx on top of EC2. Now, those are Apache and Nginx. Those have only the ability to run the static language, which is HTML or CSS, JavaScript, or the jQuery or the React.js thing. But in the real time, we will get that such kind of scenarios as well, where Apache Nginx will be used uh, as a front end we will use. But there are the business logic based applications, dynamic, like they'll take username, password from you, and then they'll give the page, they'll change the page and a different page. Such kind of applications are called dynamic. So our job, our one of job will be along with the static applications, we will work for dynamic languages, dynamic websites as well. To work with the dynamic websites, we should be, our job is not write the Java code and all. Our job is to run the Java code done by the developers. To run the Java code, we need to be aware there are some servers will be used. So yesterday I was using the Tomcat for that. And then I installed the Tomcat on top of EC2. And then uh, like HTMLs, we deploy directly on Apache. Here, we cannot deploy the Java code directly on EC2 or Tomcat. We need to install as a var file. The total Java code will be packaged as a var. That var we will deploy on top of Tomcat or EC2, I mean, internally. So that's I mean, we did. So along with that, in the VPC, there will be very important flow. If you want access, if you want to more restrictive other than the security groups, there is a more restrictive guy is called NACL. So in the NACL, we should be aware what to be allowed inbound, what to be allowed outbound. So one of the important keyword we went through is the ephemeral port numbers. So ephemeral port numbers are not only from our laptop to target server, it will be from one location to another location also. It's all simple. If you are connected from one source to destination, source will open a client, the hypermal port number, destination, obviously, whatever you are connecting it. So that we went through. So that is the VPC. So currently, my objective was here, connect an application from end to end in a VPC from load balancer application and then connect to the database layer first. That is what my objective. I want to bring that one kind of flow so that you can have like kind of in the real time. So the dynamic applications, how we will run. So you will have a exact context. With that, I started in Tomcat. So so I took a EC2, but like for example, if you go to the Apache, you don't need to install any prerequisite. For EC2, the prerequisite is the Java. First, you need to install, sorry, for Tomcat, prerequisite is the Java. We installed the Java and then we installed the Tomcat. So I have started the Tomcat. Tomcat will be 8080 port number. Yesterday we have accessed it from outside. So 8080 port number. So earlier we were running directly target group 80, but now we were allowing the 8080 port number in the target groups. So once you install the Tomcat, like Apache, this is the path, but Tomcat is not the path. Tomcat will have its own folder, which is called a web apps folder, very important. So Tomcat, we have our job is to install, start, deployment, or if there is something getting changed, we need to change that configuration. That is one of our job, installation, everything. It can be user data or it can be manual, whatever. So that is what our job is, to set up the Tomcat. This developer will give us this developer, in the sense they'll give the code. Our job is only to make the WAR file. We will make this WAR, and then we will deploy into the web apps. So that is what we did. Cool. Along with that, so we had issues, few of them. We'll continue on that issues. For now, my objective is to make the end-to-end flow. Then we will see on this troubleshooting layer further. So we used one tool called Reachability Analyzer, which will check from source to destination connectivities there are not. This we did. So let me 29. So we'll continue on the VPC only, the topics. For now, my objective was to make end-to-end connectivity. What does that mean? Like for example, this is what we'll have: load balancer, app subnet, and then the connect to the data subnet. This is what here. So load balancer will be public. This will be private. This will be the data. So yesterday we did here. We did set up application. Here are the components. So we will be entering into this layer here. Okay. Any queries, questions you want to ask on it? Cool. So can you guys help me here in AppSetNet? What components did we launch? Guys, can you hear me? No?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I thought I was in silent mode. Sorry. I mean mute. AppSetNet delay recording. Yeah. So what components? Yeah, please help me. This in public subnet, what components we have?
IGW.
IGW is out of VPC, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. What component?
NAT gateway.
Yeah. Not gateway.
Public route.
Yeah, route is not VP. I mean, it will be outside only. Route is not in the public subnet.
Like Bastion servers.
Yeah.
One more. One more we are able to reach, right?
Balancer.
Yeah.
Load
In the app subnet?
We have app servers, Apache, like Apache and Tomcat.
Okay. Or,
Nginx.
So you have the clarity from where to where. From here, what port numbers we are allowing it. It's all you are aware now. Now in data subnet. So where are these Apache or Nginx are running? What service you are using to run this? Is it? And you know what OS also, right? For example, you know OS, you know CPU, you know memory, and then storage as well, right? You know these properties. These are all infrastructure, right? The initial days, the infrastructure, you know. For this EC2, can I change storage? Can I change CPU memory for this EC2? Can I change or not? If I want to change CPU from some one CPU,
needed, we can change.
You can change it, CPU.
yeah. How can we change? This is the guy, right?
Particular thing.
Yeah, instance type. One instance type to another instance type, you change. Obviously, that I mean to say. So you have the control right here, what OS is running, and then we can log in also, right? Log in the sense, can we SSH to these missions or not? Can we?
Yes.
Yeah, we can do.
We are able to SSH. I mean to say, we are able to connect also. Okay? Just keep this down. Now, I'm going to here data subnet. Here also you can create EC2. The name itself is saying. Why do we need data subnet first?
That.
Data subnets. So to run the databases, why can't we keep them in the app subnet itself? Like to make because this is the one of the most important one. We don't want to share with any other ones. So that's why the people will prefer separate the databases in separate sections. They don't share these ones with the outside. Okay. So one is security, that is what, and to make the things in the separate way, like instead of grouping everything at one place and all. Okay. That is the one. So why do we need again databases to store data? Which data majorly? Applications data. Okay, majorly. So like for example, you go to your this thing, right? You go to one page, like as I was saying, na, SBA. Okay. You go to this page. This is a static page. Okay, this is a static page. You think it's coming from Apache, you think it. Now you go here. Now this is also you think it is coming from Apache. Now you will enter username password. This username password already you could have stored it, right? You could have stored it. They could have stored previously itself, your username passwords and all. So where they could have stored it, they could have done store here, database. They could have stored all your user data, all your like username, password, account, some address, some like all these are called columns. In the columns, you will have a data. Your data will be there, like your original data, some name, something like the password, blah blah blah, some account number, blah 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 blah, something, and then address also. This is called your original data. So this is like what is getting stored. It will say based upon this data only. We will be storing it. All this information, columns, data, like this is the, I mean, sorry, this is kind of, you can say that metadata. What data is getting stored, and you are storing your original data in the next one more row will come. Next one more row will come like this. Saral, can you see this is structured data or not? This one, structured data in the sense very clearly you have, right? Something. Can I enter here in the address place? I cannot enter the some kind of phone number and all, right? For example, you cannot enter, right? Only the address. Wherever the phone number will be there, in that field only phone number will come. In the phone number place, you cannot enter the name also. If you try to enter, it will throw an error also, right? For example, you could have seen that in the original flows. So whatever the data you are storing here, that is called structured data. What is mean by structured? Like you will have some kind of column which will say enter specific format data. And you will have a rows where we were original data. How original data will come? You will enter yourself whenever you do sign up, or like the behind the some kind of people will be there, admins like the bank PO people, they will enter that data. That data will be stored here. So that is what you have to understand here. So my objective here is, why do we need a database? Database to store the data. Who can store? You can also store, or some backend, some people will be there. They will also store your data. That data you can access for the later, you can access it. So that is, so there are the database types are there, structured databases, unstructured databases. So for now, I'm talking on the structured database. What is mean by structured? They already have a specific kind of form. In the form, you will enter specific data that will accept it, and then it will store behind in these kind of databases. Now, whenever I was telling it, who will store here? You see right here, application. This is the application here. So where this application will be running, this application, it will be in this subnet. I was telling right here, it will be running it. Who will access this? Applications only will access it. So let me put it here. Databases. Why we are using? To store data, and then we will access, and then we will update, we will insert something, update or insert, or we can do delete also. What kind of data we are storing right now? Structured data. What is meant by structured data? There will be specific columns, there will be specific rows predefined. According to that, application will enter this data, or the admins behind they will enter the data. Something you have to keep this. Now, you guys are accessing this application, a famous application, Zomato. Or you guys are accessing, right? Or the shopping cart applications, for example, any. So the food items, right? Whatever the food items you are saying, or you are entering, or already as an user, when you access the Zomato application, you see the food items, right? Or whatever the food items you are entering, already it is available in the app.
It's available.
Available, right? Already. Such data is called, you think it, master data. Already available. Next, you do booking, right? I mean to say you will book that item. That is you are entering. Booking like I need this much items, something. That is you are entering. This is user data. Who will enter this master data? Maybe the Zomato people, or they will give access to, there will be two UIs will be there for Zomato. One is user and will be the admin. Hotels can enter, or they will have separate people, the Zomato admins, they will enter this data. We will be seeing them as agents. Agents will enter master data. Okay. Keep it. So here there are the databases, structured, and one more is the unstructured database. Structured is like you could have seen right here. This one, you are entering this one, right? This is called structured databases. There is a form you will be entering. Unstructured, for example, you booked a this thing. Google, you selected a Google map from one location to another location. So it's not structured. Like if you go in between, or the cab guys, you booked a cab, there will be unstructured, like you can go, it's not a predefined path. You can go unstructured, like you will go to the other place and then again to another place. That is the unstructured, you can think it. There are the applications structured, and I mean unstructured also you will be working in the real time. Or one more thing, in the Google Drive, for example, you can store videos, you can store documents, you can store a lot of things, right? This is not the predefined format. Just you are storing the dumping the data somewhere. Behind, there will be one database which will be understanding that you entered a document, you entered a video, something. So for example, unstructured, as I was saying, Google Maps are like kind of document databases, or the video based apps. These are all unstructured. You don't know what the structure you are entering it, for example. So till now, as a user, right, you could have interacted with both of them, structured and unstructured. Structured, very simple. There will be rows, there will be columns, predefined. User only will enter this data only. He cannot enter other than this data. We won't allow it. So who will interact with the databases?
User and admin both.
Admins or users. How they will interact?
Two queries.
UI.
So as a users, I mean to say, as a user, I'll come to application. Application can only access with the database. User will interact with the application. But as a DevOps admin, I can go here also. I can enter. I can access this. DevOps admin or another admin. These guys also same. These guys are agents. I'll say that agents. Oh my God. Just a second. Yeah. So as a DevOps admin, right, or admin, I can access directly these databases. I can interact, I can run the SQL queries and all. But here this guy is not the technical guy. So if these guys wanted to interact, they have to have a UI, this UI application UI, and then they will access with the database. Here the logic will be there. Here the logic, the business logic. So which applications can support this logic is application logic. Which language applications?
HTML.
To interact with databases. Java,
Java. Got
Python.
Python.
There are like lot of in the market. There are. So they will have the intelligence to interact with the databases. Other like HTML and all, they don't have intelligence to interact with the databases. So here you can keep it extra. Here is the HTML guy. You can see. Here is the front end guy. When you click on the form, internally it will send a request to this business logic application. This business logic will send a request to the database. That is it. Any thoughts, queries you want to ask on it? Cool. So among these, let's say for example, I'm running this application from like, for example, some years I'm running this application. I have collected all your data. Where is everything is stored here? Where is everything is stored in this? I'm running this application, for example, last few years in the real time, you think it.
S3 database.
In database.
It stored everything.
Cloud.
Yeah. I mean, in the cloud only, which component? In this flow, in which
A
component?
database.
Database.
Yeah. So if this goes away also, can I rebuild or not this one? Let's say, for example, someone deleted or something. I can
We can.
rebuild this one.
Yeah, we can do it.
Backup is there, we can build.
For database, if you delete it,
We need to back up
yeah, among this, which is very critical.
database.
Database.
Very critical.
So what is this guy? Database. This thought. Yeah, keep this thought very important. We take backup, very important. That is what we will be taking the databases backup, like depends upon frequency. Depends on the frequency. You remember I was saying that long back. If one primary data center goes down, there will be one environment, right? What was that environment? If primary, there will be two AGs they will maintain. If one goes down, they'll maintain the backup one more, right?
Yeah.
DR, right? So same way. So databases backup depends upon the majority people. If it is very critical, I'll tell you very thumb rule. If it is critical application, sure you will have a DR. Continuously in the sense, for example, whenever you enter in, for example, like this. So whenever you enter some data, it will go to the primary database. Behind automatically sync will happen, like some seconds or some kind of minutes, something. It will get sync in the sense replicate. Say that it will get replicated into another databases automatically. It will go to the, you can say that secondary databases. If it is very critical applications, immediately they'll be replicating into other places. Let's say, for example, you made a banking transaction, for example, you withdraw your money, like some kind of big amount. So this information has to be replicated into other place, right? Otherwise, when you withdraw something because of some mistake or something, it goes away. Again, like for example, it will impact, right? You will, whatever the amount you withdrawn, if they go back to the some previous days, the transaction information will not be there, right? Because that's a very critical information, the banking transactions and all. They'll replicate immediately into another databases. This will be another databases they'll maintain. It will be very costly, but business need, right, that kind of critical nature. So they'll replicate immediately into another locations, whatever it. So this will be majorly, it will be in the read-only mode. What does mean? You cannot modify into this. No. So it will be in the read-only mode, this guy. Keep it. Think that. Who will be write mode? This guy, the primary guy. Write you can do, and then read also you can do. This one. So all very critical applications, they'll do immediate backup. Immediate sync will happen into the secondary databases. They'll design it. The DBA team or they'll design it if it is very critical application. Now, this is the one time. Some people, what they do, they'll take the, let's say, for example, here, if something goes to primary, you can recover immediately, right? Like,
Yes.
for example, we will convert this something, they'll change the application logic immediately, like something. They can recover, right? Immediately.
Yes. Yes.
That is called RTO. How long it takes recover? Maybe like 1 hour or something, like 30 minutes, something. They'll keep a maintenance. We are in a maintenance. We have issue. They'll bring this backup as is in between. That's what. So when I'm tracking the databases, when you discuss with some kind of team, they'll ask this kind of question: RTO, how long it will take? Okay, that is what. So here, whatever till that time, let's say for example, you made a transaction sometime. In between this database went, till that time the data will get recovered here because they're recovering immediately, right? They're syncing immediately. So whatever the synced data, it will get recovered here. Now another scenario, we take backup every day at majority backups. Keep this thought. Backups we do at out of business hours only. What happens here, whenever backup is happening, applications database little will be slow. I mean to say, let's say for example, you are talking to one person. You are talking to one person, for example, you will talk very speed. Behind behind someone kept you, some person is kept some load on you. You can't speak with that same rapport, right? They kept a heavy load on you. So now here application is interacting with the database. Now behind one more person is coming and then he's taking database. He's taking the database backup. At that time, what happens here? Some CPU and memory will involve for that backup. So with that, right, database will be little slow. It won't be very speed active, like, because there is some CPU memory will involve for backup. With that, database will be bit slow during backup time. It will become. So that's why we don't take backup in the business hours. We will ask the business team what time will be less interaction will happen to the database. During that time only we will go for backup. For India, you know, right? What is the out of business times usually?
Midnight.
21.
Something into the midnight, not in the daytime. I mean, in the midnight, we'll go. We go like
Post business hours.
uh, the keyword here is out of business hours. You can say that. It depends upon the client you are working. You have to find their client business hours, out of business hours, and then you have to find. We don't take Saturday, Sunday also, but database we don't take every weekends. That is because at least it's a production database business, right? It's up to them. You can ask these questions. How frequently you want the database backup? Every day or weekends or something? You can ask this question. That is our job only when you are configuring it. Now here, so what happens here? The backup. So we will take, depends upon out of business. Here the backup is immediately or every day sometime. Let's say for example, sometime you take it at 12 a.m. 12, around 12 a.m. You think it. Now you are taking, let's say for example, whole today transactions. It will happen at midnight. They'll go for backup. You think it. For example, day one. So you did all these transaction. Application write that these transactions user wrote. He did. Now it did the backup. Today transactions, it will happen in the midnight, right? Backup. Now let's say for example, day two also. Let's go. Day two. So here, so yesterday they did a backup. You think it yesterday midnight it happened a backup. From yesterday to today, you think it. Today, still it is running. Day two is running now. You think it. Today now till like for example maybe at again to happen the backup you have to wait, right? Again 12 a.m. something in middle of day middle of day, the crash happened. The database went away. No, something. Now, if you recover the data, like for example, what day data you can recover? Let's say, for example, after 12 a.m., it happened backup. Now, from 12 a.m. to till, for example, 11 a.m., I mean to say morning 12. Now, till 12, 11 a.m., the business happened. The transaction is being stored here. By the time this crash happened, you cannot recover this data. Now, till what date you can recover the data? Can we recover the 12, 1, 2 till like 11 a.m. Can we recover?
No.
No.
Yesterday data.
Only what data?
Yesterday.
Yesterday data only you can recover. You cannot recover the other data, right? This is what. So very important. This is called now RPO. Recovery point of object. This is recovery time of object. Till recover. RTO. How long? How long it will take? Databases. Here immediately you can bring. Here also something, for example, 1 hour you can bring it. It's all like how fast you will bring another database, and then you will recover from the backup. That is what here the RTO. How long it will take? Till the time your application will be application will be down. Something if it is depend on the database. This is till what object? Yesterday or immediately or like this is dealing with data. So any thoughts, questions you want to ask on it? Cool. So if I talk database, few things are very important, as I was saying. Who will interact with the database?
User and admin.
Applications. And then database will be having a backup.
Backup.
There are the databases, structured. And one more is the unstructured. In the real time, whatever you are working right nowadays, applications, all are structured or unstructured applications you are working, whatever in the real time currently you are working on. You will be. So Zomato also will be having structured, unstructured, they'll be storing. So you are already using in the real time this kind of applications. That is the one. And then when I say structured, very important, rows and columns, you can't predict it. Like for example, the weather data or the geographic data, you can't predict it. For example, I was told the example Google Maps or some kind of Google Maps, the geo data. Let's say that geo data documents, the uploading data, you can't predict it. What kind of data they're entering it, for example. Cool. So keep this thought. In the olden days, you were not having this technology very well. I mean, in the olden days, if you go like last 10 years and all, this was not familiarized. Nowadays, this is very popular. Majority applications they're using this unstructured data because they want to collect lot data from you. This was popular long back. Okay, good. And one of the famous keywords I was telling, RTO and RPO. RTO deals with if database crashes, how immediately will bring the data. RPO will deal till what data you have stored. Till that time you will be bringing that data. RPO will deal. So these are the keywords you'll be hearing there when we talk about the data. Okay. Who will interact is very important. Databases, sorry, applications will interact but as an admin, you can interact directly with these databases if you want. So in which subnet they will run? In the data subnet they will run. Good. With this, let me go for here. Where was this? Yeah. No, it's running in EC2. This guy is running in EC2. If you want, you can run this also in the EC2. You can run this in EC2 data also. But the problem here is if you go with this, some people will go with this mindset also. They will go EC2 and then they will install the database on top of EC2. Who has to take the backup now?
EC2.
Yeah, EC2. You have
We
to
need to maintain
you have,
that.
you have to take the backup, right? In the cloud, there is a service called, this we will say as a PaaS service. Every cloud will have, not only the AWS, every cloud. In cloud, there is a service called PaaS. We'll be calling sometimes PaaS, Platform as a Service. Name will say that RDS, Relational Database Service. So I'll take this RDS. I'll take RDS. Here, do you know what OS and all right here? You know OS, how much CPU you know, how much memory you know, and then the storage also you know, and then instance family also you know, right here. What family and then what network also you know something. Here I will take RDS. Here I'll allocate CPU, memory, I'll allocate storage. I will allocate here also same instance family will be there. I will allocate network also in our own VPC and then. But only one guy. We don't know what OS they're running. I'll go to this service, RDS service. Everything now, backup or maintenance, if there is an upgradation happens, everything will be taken care by the cloud provider here. The backup also. I have to select something, how frequently I want the backup here. They will take care. What they'll take care? OS also they'll take care. And then the maintenance, backup, maintenance. What is maintenance? Somewhere in future, I want to do the upgradation and then maintenance. Like this is downtime will be there, like less downtime. Something. Majority responsibility of the databases, they will take care here in the cloud. So with this mindset, what do you prefer? Database on EC2 or RDS?
RDS.
Please, if you get this option, I have seen some people, they have installed this one. They'll go with this. Don't go with this approach because it will be, you know, what is the most important critical, right, in the application flow, databases. So don't take a risk. Put the risk on the cloud provider. They'll take care of the rest. If you get an option to choose the EC2 or the RDS, go with this RDS approach always. This is a bit costly, little costly compared to the EC2, but you know, right, critical is the very important, business critical. So we prefer that RDS, the one. So let me go here, the cloud. There is a service, you see, right? It's a what kind of service?
Managed.
Managed. They'll take care of the rest. What is our job? What is my job here? I'll go to RDS. Select family. I mean, RDS type. RDS. What does that mean? Do you want to go with MySQL or Oracle or pSQL? They have different types of like MS SQL. I heard recently they have a DB2 also. This kind of. Select the which RDS type. Who is connecting to the RDS in our application in our flow?
Application.
Who designed that application?
Developer.
I mean to say, who developed that application?
Ourselves.
No, development of the application.
Developers.
Development will be
Developers.
done, developers.
Developers, right? So in the code, whatever the code they write, they'll write some queries. So they knows it, what database will fit that application, right? So as a DevOps guy, I cannot go and then create a PostgreSQL. This is called Postgres. I cannot go, if someone comes to me, hey, create RDS, I'll go to AWS console. I cannot create immediately this one. Whom I need to ask? Developer I need to ask. This application will
On
connect
which RDS?
which RDS? You have to ask that question. You don't, that is not your job to select which database and all. That is whose job? Developer already have written the code. This application will suit to one database only. Whatever you have, whatever they have tested in their local. So to whom we need to ask?
Developers.
Dev team. Which DB type? Ask always this question. That is what you have to ask it. Then CPU memory storage, that's your choice. Then I'll ask it like maybe this need more CPUs or less CPUs or memory. I mean to say how much memory and then how much storage we may store. But this and all can be changed later also, not a problem. This can be changed. But this is very important. Once you log, that's it. Good. So go here. My job is to select the RDS type. Now I'll ask the dev team what type of database you need. And RDS need a security group. Like it need a security group, obviously. And in which subnet are we going to create this one?
Data subnet.
In which subnet we are going to create data
Data subnet.
So for RDS, right, we don't select directly the subnets. We don't select like directly. There will be called subnet grouping. I'll create a subnet group. That subnet group I will give to the RDS while creating it. We don't directly give the subnets here. I'll create one subnet group. In that group, I will select these subnets. While creating RDS, I'll give this subnet group. That internally will select the data subnets only. And obviously we will need here this one also, instance family type. So can you guys tell me one instance family type which you are aware easy to?
M5 to X large.
M5 X2 large.
Yeah, here database types by default they'll be like this. DB type M5 like this. Then by seeing itself we can come to know that this is for which service they are using now. RDS.
Database.
I mean RDS, yeah. The name itself, the major all instance will start with the DB dot. Very important instance family type. So with this, you will have a CPU and memory. We will give a storage here. It's EBS volume only, but behind they'll take care of this. You cannot see this separately EBS volume. You cannot see that. There will be storage will be there. Okay? Very important. So these are the basic things you need when you are selecting that RDS. So let's go here. See here. Yeah, go ahead. For example, can we help? Yeah. Yeah. If you attend Amazon, damn sure they'll ask this question. Yeah, they'll ask it. If you attend I have seen right some core companies. If you go to some core like Cisco, they wanted they'll ask this question. How behind? I think I told right one example. When you calculate S3 is bit slow, the EBS will be very fast, right? I think so. Why? Because it's a block storage. So you are attaching directly to the OS. You are interacting here directly with the OS, right? OS will interact with the EBS directly. So in S3, right? OS and in between they will install one application. That application will interact with EBS volume. So there is some interactions are coming, right? Sure, they'll ask this kind of question. Yes. How behind somewhere else they'll ask it. Yeah. How it is it? I have got this kind of question. So why EBS is very fast? Why is S3 bit slow? Like that is what OS is interacting directly. You can interact with immediately behind only. In between S3, there is an application layer. I got this kind of question. Yes. For your question, they'll ask some companies, they'll ask it behind what is happening, something. You tell whatever you told, and then majority Amazon, like if they ask why they have not given for RDS OS, so that is out of yeah, they'll ask it. They'll ask it. I'll tell you what questions they'll ask it because of the pattern, right? Yeah. Yeah. Now, so let's go here to the RDS wala. Same like EC2, you will have instances here. Some obviously. So when you are purchasing RDS also will have RI. They have RI family, but two types of purchase only as far I know. They don't have this thing spot purchase and all. RDS doesn't have it, but they'll take RI reserved. They'll take it. If you are locked for 1 year or 3 years, RI is for two things only category 1 and 3 years. You have to renew again. So if you're using one family type, tell them this family type I'm using it. They'll give the discount for RDS. Otherwise, they'll charge based upon the on-demand cost only. There is no spot RDS. There is no spot as far I know. Cool. Now you see here, blah blah. These things, I was telling it. We don't select the directly subnets. We will create a subnet group. Go for here databases. Create a database. Yeah, one more option you are seeing, right? If there is a backup, please bear with me. If there is a backup already, you did a migration from cloud to on-premises. I'm sorry, on-prem to cloud. So you remember I was telling that everything you can store backups in the initial days. Anything backup, database backups, always store in the S3. You can restore also if you want. There are the options, standard create, easy create, that's okay. These are the flavors I was telling it. This is not your job to decide what database. This is, you need to ask with the developer. Because thumb rule, before code coming to you, one guy is very popular on the code, the developer. So ask as much as them. Okay, this is not this came recently. This is what earlier it was not there. I think last month or something they released it. So in my case, right, I'll be going with the MySQL, and then we will see further Postgres as a demo. Whatever the applications we are bringing it will connect to the MySQL. These two are Amazon ones, Amazon people. Aurora name is Amazon thing. This is separate MySQL. They'll not charge for the licenses. These four are not for licenses. They'll not charge for, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They'll not charge for these three. They'll charge for licenses also. They'll charge for licenses because these are the paid ones. These are the open source one. They took the open source outside one. They're selling here. AWS people, they're selling it. So for me, important keywords are here. Aurora, AWS one. In Aurora, again, you have two flavors, MySQL, Postgres. If you get a chance, don't prefer Aurora for production. Don't go with this because they are using shared hardware. You can think, for example, say that shared hardware, more shared hardware. If you think in your laptop, you install a lot of applications. With this, what will happen? Your application will be bit slow. We observe lot of times. Aurora will be bit slow. We did a lot of testing as well. And it is bit raising also low compared to the other ones. For testing environment, prefer Aurora. For dev and all normal environment. Otherwise, always go, if you get a chance, prefer anyone. Prefer these two. Classic. We will call this one as a classic. Here, they will not share. I mean to say there will be dedicated. You can think on that OS, they'll not install any others. Here, you can think same OS will be shared across multiple people. You think it. That is. So I'll be going with MySQL here. MySQL is the structured database.
So which one is here unstructured? Even MySQL also unstructured.
No. Whatever you see, right? All these are structured.
Okay.
There are structured. Cassandra. There are others are there. Like we'll see them later. Okay.
Okay.
Whatever you see, RDS is structured purely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. That's a good question. Yeah. Now, when you create a EC2, show version that support. Yeah. When you create a EC2, when you're creating EC2, did you get an option? Create EC2 in multi-zone. Any option did you create? Did you get an option? You create EC2 in multi-zone automatically.
No.
somewhere you have seen it in the one service. You can select multiple zones and then
Right. In network.
Load balance.
yeah, load balancer you could have seen, right? When you're creating a load balancer, there
Yes,
were 3 check boxes you created it. So what does that mean? Even one zone goes down, the load balancer will be available, right? They'll maintain it. Yeah. Same way for RDS also you will get this option. What is that?
multi-zone.
Multi-zone. If you select ECT in multi-zone, they'll create across all the zones. They'll maintain it. But this is costly. It is surprising. But obviously, RDS is the critical, right? So always for prod. For prod environment, enable multi-agent. Multi-zone. This is the recommended for production. For dev stage, that's okay. You can avoid, not a problem. For testing environments. For production, always enable multi-agent. Please don't miss it. Cool here. There are so versions that supports multi-agent. That's okay. Very important versions. Multi-agent. So you see, right, 5, 5.7, 8. Now majority people are going towards the 8 version. Till I have seen some applications MySQL 5 version they are using it. After there is no 6, 7 kind of version. They did 8 something. I'll go with the highest version of the 5.7. Let's see. So production will be preferring it. This is what I was telling it. Yeah. For production environment, please always enable it. This is costly. You can see somewhere the cost also below. Immediately, yeah. You see how much they are charging here. $1,435 per month. RDC is costly. What are the companies who are creating highest cost? Now let me select single agent. Just observe the cost. You see here how much it got reduced, half of. That's okay. For production, always go with this option. Multi-agent. Multi is the very good option. Where is this guy? Multi-agent. Yeah. High availability and then the durability. Very important. No settings. This is the name will be displayed on the console. That is dashboard. It will be displayed. Let's say that I'll say that applications DB. Say that applications DB. So like your AWS console, you have a username password, right? So for RDS also separate username password will be there. It will be separate username. You can choose your username password if you want. RDS username. Click on admin. And then the password. Oh, hyphen is not allowed. Oh no. There. What is this? The master username must start with the letter. It's letter and contains OD. No. No underscore.
No hyphen.
No hyphen. Acha. That's okay. What is this? Admin user. Yeah. This is RDS admin user. RDS, yeah. This is admin user name. In the real time, we will store in the vault anything. After you create, right, we will store in the vault. In AWS, there is a service called Secret Manager or Secrets. Very important. We don't keep in our local. You see, yeah, this is what it is saying almost by default. Manage the credentials with this. For now, that's okay. I'll go with the random password. This man. There is a password, yeah. Select this guy. Don't care about the password sharing. I don't want all this special things. Let's go and then. Yeah. So it's like separate username password, not there is no relation with your AWS console username password. This is altogether separate credentials. Cool. So here is the sections. Please observe here. This is the number. This is high availability, and then the credentials thing. And then this is what I was telling it, the instance family type. Do you want to go with what instance type family type here? So this is also depends upon application. If application is doing very heavy, like the more interaction, more queries and all, then you have to change the depends upon type. This you have to do a lot of testing in the non-prod environment, performance testing. The team will suggest you what type has to go here. For now, I'm going with the M5, 4 CP, 16 GB. Here is the UBS volume is coming. You see, right? Type general purpose, GP3, IO1. GP3 came last maybe like 1.5 year back, I think. So for now, this is bit costly. IOPS is bit costly. This is very speed as well, IOPS. So I'll be going with GP3, latest hardware. GP2 is old hardware, GP3 is the latest hardware. You see now cost, how much this could have reduced it. Oh, same GP. Why? Let me go. I have earlier IOPS was there. Yeah, where was that? Storage. So you see, right, automatically scaling also will happen. If 50 GB will get filled, automatically it will expand. We don't allow this. Where was this guy? Yeah, this the. Let's go with the fun of 50 GB wala. GP also. Let me check. $750. Oh, same cost. That's okay. Think, yeah. 550 GB. Oh, they have a limitation, is it what? No, GP2 50 GB. Now minimum is 20 GB, maximum is that's okay. See, maximum till it will support. Storage auto scaling. No, I'm not enabling this feature. Connectivity. Who is connecting to this? Don't EC2 connect to EC2 compute. That's okay. Connection to no, I'm not enabling this feature. Let's leave it. Network IPv4. This is very important. What I was telling it. VPC. Our own VPC. And this is what I was telling it. We don't select directly the subnets here. We select the subnet group. Right click on it a little. Sorry, here somewhere you will see the subnet group. Open new tab. It is subnet group. See that? Data subnets. .ds. Choose VPC. Here you will get a subnets here. Here you have to remember these columns. The drop down, you have to remember what subnets we went through. The CIDR range. So I'll go for VPC one. You won't get the name directly there. You'll get the CIDR range and then the subnet numbers. So here, filter with the data. C132A. Go. I'm creating a subnet group that is important for RDS. We cannot select the directly. C1 and one more. 32 more 80. These three are the subnets for data we created it. 6C1 432 680. Yeah, these three. Cool. Now three subnets you selected it. Create subnet group you created it now. So how many subnets are in this inside this one group?
3.
3 subnets.
Yeah. So you selected here. What are you selecting here? Subnet group, right? Subnet group. Where was this guy? Yeah. Subnet group. Need to refresh all those things. Sorry, just bear with me for some time. I thought there will be refresh button. Standard. I'll not go with Aurora. I'll go with MySQL flavor. Py.dot highest version 44 option multi-agent. This one will be have yes, for example, this one will be username. Please change some properties, like kind of very complex name something, because database is critical, right? Someone shouldn't, I mean to say, shouldn't expect that this name can be there something with the GP2 and then 50 GB value. Just family type, storage.
Sir, I have one doubt, sir.
Oh, go
So
ahead.
can we select auto-generated password?
Yeah, I can go ahead. At the end, last it will display. After you create, right?
Yeah, here.
Yeah,
Auto-generated.
you can go. It was asking, right? Something. Yeah. You can see. Yeah. After you create, right? Last it will display.
Okay.
Cool. Storage scaling. Don't create country EC2. Yeah, this is what important. VPC. This is what the user rate automatically in the drop-down it came. Data subnets. So 3 subnet available. Just cool. I'm telling very important thing. Please bear this. Listen this. Very important. Never ever expose database to public. Never do. Please. Always keep no. This one. Please always. Never expose. This is the security practice. Nothing. And obviously, I need a security group. Let's create existing one. Let's create a new one. Go with the, like, for example, demo RDS data HC. Go with this. It will create automatically. Otherwise, you could have created it in the drop-down. You could have got it. For now, I'll go with this. Certificate, addition configuration. Yeah, this is the port number. Password authentication we are going. This is for monitoring, you know, right? A CloudWatch. So load balancer, EC2 and like that. RDS also will get covered. This is the monitoring. Monitoring as well. There will be backup thing, man. Yeah, this is the one. Yeah. So you see right here, when you create EC2 mission, do you want to, sorry, when you create RDS, do you want to create inside RDS some database, some dummy database and then let's say that dummy. Don't use. Database hyphen will be there, I think, but no, not supported. Dummy, don't use. For example, this database automatically will create. We'll see that. Some parameter group. Yeah, this is what I was telling it. So automatically the AWS will take for you the backup if you enable it. How frequently? No, how long they'll keep the backup? This is what. How long they'll keep it? Like 7 days. After 7 days, they'll delete automatically. Max, how many days you have? Option 35 days. I remember we raised a support ticket to increase, I think. So it's how long they'll keep the backup if you want to recover. This is important. What time they'll take the backup. This is what. Here we will select our own time. It's in our time. Backup window. The daily time, it will go in UTC. You can see that. For example, around this is that it's you say that UTC means plus 534 hours. So it will be in our time, India time 5:30. If you want, as for this. Now you want to go before, like around midnight something. What time you can select? UTC plus 5:30 for us. So do minus 5:30. Go around like 20 something. How frequent? Like within 1 hour, take the backup. This is one. Choose window. This is backup window. They'll take midnight backup every day. And then in encryption, enable replication into another. No, I don't want for now these options. Logs. Yeah, one more. This is also very important. Maintenance. If AWS is upgrading RDS thing, they'll be doing some kind of upgrade automatically. What time do you select? This we will select mostly in the weekends. This we will not select in the daytime, the Sunday or Saturday. Saturday night in our time 28. 8 plus. Oh, in the same time backup also is happening. He's telling that choose alternate. Go with the time then. 21. Go within, yeah, backup. I mean, maintenance, let's happen within 30 minutes something. Don't give more time for this. This is to upgrade up the EC2s. I mean, sorry, RDS thing. They'll take care, AWS will take care of that automatically. very important. When you're creating RDS, it will ask you. When you create a EC2 mission, when you're terminating EC2 mission, it won't ask yes or no. It's been protected. You cannot delete that thing. Because RDS is very critical, right? If someone is trying to delete, it will say that you can't delete. There is a protection is enabled it. So always enable this thing. So few things important. Let me put it here. What and all we have selected. Can you guys help me here? What and all we selected here when you were selecting RDS? When you think
Family type.
type, yeah, one more. Some more.
Subnet, subnet group.
VPC. Security groups.
Yeah,
Hmm.
obviously security group. One more. Database name, instance name.
Username and password.
Yeah, username and password. This is admin username. Okay, very important. Admin username, password. Next, backups, and one more is the maintenance. Maintenance. And obviously the storage. Storage also we have selected here. Storage. Did we select anywhere AMI type something? Did we select any OS and all? Did we select?
No.
That's why RDS will be called as a pass. You have control on can we increase later instance family type CPU and all can we increase? We can increase, right? Instance family type. From I want M5 to some series I can change, right? If I want.
Storage
So,
on the OS.
yeah. So if you know OS, that is comes under IAS purely. Like you go inside a server, you are controlling, right? Infrastructure as a service. This is platform as a service. You don't have much control on this. OS and all you are not aware. SaaS, not at all. Like IAM is a SaaS, right? So RDS you can consider as a PaaS something. You don't know OS thing, but you cannot log in inside SSH. You cannot do that, but you will be able to connect. So RDS will be categorized as a PaaS service, platform as a service. Now you know 4 keywords, right? I mean, sorry, 3 keywords. PaaS. One more is the SaaS also. So with this, let me go and then create database. All good, all good. Yeah. Yes. Create database. It takes like 15 minutes around time. It'll take. Tell me now, I have one question. Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah, tell me.
Enabling auto multi-zone availability.
Yeah, that you enabled it. Now, how they know is it has to go into the multi-agent and all.
We are creating that subnet group, right?
Yeah, very important. That is one. Subnet group. Subnet. Oh my gosh, why? Subnet group is very important. How many subnets you grouped?
3.
Yeah. Subnets again internally spread into the across agents, right? So
Right.
if you say multi-agent, it will go. Yes, it is costly. They'll charge for that because they're creating a even one zone goes down, still you will have a RDS available, right? So see. So now after you create RDS, you will get an endpoint. You will get an endpoint like RDS endpoint. DNS, you will get a DNS. So in the application, if you want to connect to the RDS database, Here you are running you think you are running a one server. You think it is server, okay? Now in the application, you have to configure endpoint, username, password, and the database name. You remember what I have given one database name, right? While creating RDS, if you remember. One database name I had given.
Dummy do not
Yeah.
use.
Dummy don't use something, right? So in this RDS, already one database will come along with this now. What database will come?
MySQL.
One database will come, right? I had given one database name here. What database name will come? While creating RDS, I had given it.
RDS.
No,
Aurora.
MySQL is the flavor, RDS flavor. In
Dummy
this,
don't use.
you will get a one, this database will come. Dummy don't use this one. So what I'll do, I'll create a one, for example, my application purpose, I'll create a something called, let's say that CMS database. I'll create an extra database one, CMS database. I'll create a one database later. This database, I'll give it here. This one. This is extra data. Can I create one more? Like for example, Tomcat database. Can I create, for example, one more? My Python is connecting, for example, Python database. So what does that mean? In RDS server, in one RDS server, we can create multiple databases. You can create multiple databases like this. Good. So let's go for now here. Close. Yeah, you see, it takes a little while.
So in the multiple database, we can change the flavors also. For example,
No,
MySQL.
no. All this will come under MySQL only.
Understand.
If you want another flavor, you have to create one more instance, one more server.
Got it.
Now all are going right now. They are running multi-agent somewhere. You don't have here until we need to click on it. Okay, let's click on this wala. Here you will get endpoint. You see, this is the what you got it. Like load balancer, you will get this endpoint. So very important. Please never enable this one to public. Never ever enable this one to public. Very important. And this is the one. And here is the port number. MySQL default port number 3306. If you want some properties, you can change some of the properties, backups related. I want to change the backup frequency, blah, blah, you can change. Some instance family type also you can change. We used to do that. If team is not using the some type, we used to do downgrade and all. Storage, no, they don't do downscaling the storage. Storage only the increase, but this can be changed this time. Version you can upgrade, you will get an option. Here in the actions, you can modify. Somewhere you can modify some properties. Some properties you can modify if you want to change. Let it come. Now you see, right, in which availability zone they created this one?
1B.
1B. So recently we were doing some kind of chaos testing. So if we do stop and start, they'll change this 1A to 1B because one option, right? What is that option? Multi-agent. Because they used to change this day. I have seen this. If you do stop and start, it will go for another. In case if 1B goes down, automatically application will get failover to, I mean to say RDS instances will be there. For me, this is important. The endpoint will be there. They'll maintain the behind. Yeah. So wait for some time. This is the one RDS server. We can create multiple data. This is very important. So now I have a Tomcat or I have one other language. So developers, what they do, they'll create a separate one properties file. Some files will be there, properties or some kind of XML or some kind of some config file, which will have DB info. In the DB info, what you have to give? DB endpoint or the host. Here you will give the endpoint. In the port, DB port you will give username, the admin or the username, obviously the password. Very important is the database name. Okay, database name very important. Database name, whatever we create, according to application, you have to give this here. For now, let's go here, CMS database. Now, tell me here, in meantime, just for 2 minutes, I'll take it.
Did dash. SSM.
It is
No, not to EC2, normal AWS console. For databases, there is a dedicated clients are there, like the famous clients tools are there. Okay, you can use those. We will be using that tool, MySQL Workbench. You go and then download here. This is dedicatedly to database only. Workbench. Don't sign. No thanks. So this is, can we connect to this database from my laptop? Can we connect to this database from our laptop?
You.
Still, you cannot connect. Even if you allow NACLs, you cannot connect.
No, I think because it is a Amazon AWS tool.
Yeah, very important is it's in private subnet. You cannot connect to this. So there are some tweakings you can do, but don't go for this. Don't enable this public to know. So keep it this. So what I'll be using a kind of concept called tunneling. So if you want to connect to this RDS for now, only one option as an admin, I can go via Bastion only. I can go. Or I need to go to the app subnet. From there, I need to access it. Only those options. So as a first step, I'll go to the Bastion. I will access this RDS with some kind of not. This is the GUI tool. The GUI tool. There is a CLI tools also is there, MySQL CLI. So I will install this in Bastion. From there, Bastion I will connect. So Bastion to MySQL. So here you have a security group 3306. I will allow to Bastion NG. I'm not doing SSH. It doesn't support SSH. There is a for that only. I'm not using SSH CLI. I'm using MySQL CLI. That okay. With that, I will be able to connect. It's a for that database separate client. I'm using it. Any queries, questions you want to ask on it? So my objective before entering other topics, I want to set up one end-to-end flow, the like kind of dynamic application, so that you will know. Next, I will take, please bear with me, whatever we did till now applications, same will be, I'll be using in other layers, wherever new topics comes. So it will be replicated, same setup everywhere. So you know the static flow. Now, if I enter dynamic, I can replicate that everywhere. Next topics, that is what my objective. Any queries, thoughts you want to ask?
Sir, yesterday concept NACL, we used default NACL, na?
Yeah, I'll come on it. I'll come on it. I'll come on. So you want me to go with the more controlled one, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But something problem is there, right? So
Yeah.
what the
No, I have not checked it. I'll come on it. I'll come on it. Bear with me. Let's make. I'll make this flow app DB. Then we'll come on that area. We'll do more debugging that.
okay, thank you.
So let's pass it on here. This is more costly one. Please, once you create RDS, don't make that running. Make it go and stop that RDS one. Don't run continuously. RDS is the most billing one compared to the EC2. I think they'll not give free also. I think no. I think T2. I'm not sure. Okay, cool. Let's put the points here, please. Can you guys anyone talk all about database? Unstructured. Can you guys tell me what is meant by structured? How will be the structured?
Rows and columns.
Who will enter the data these rows? Who will be entering that usually, like in our applications are admin. Okay. Unstructured, you can think example geodata. Or not.
Google Maps.
Yeah, documents, yeah, all those geo right now. You are using in real time. Majority people are using the real time. Good, cool. Now, what is the service in for RDS in AWS?
RDS.
RDS comes under the PaaS. Is very important. So when you are talking database, RDS always keep in the separate subnets, but we are not allowed to select directly subnets. We will select the subnet group. That is very important. Never expose RDS to public. Please, that is the thumb rule. So don't do that. In RDS, we will have multiple RDS types. What are the Aurora? They'll ask this question: what kind of database type you are using? Please always lock one. Don't tell multiple. Even if I worked multiple databases, but I don't because that makes more talk, more confusion. Lock one. All my applications that teams are decided to go with one type only. Don't select Postgres. Don't tell. We used only one database type. Tell that strongly. Okay. Aurora, MySQL, Postgres, yeah. There are Oracle, DB2, one MS SQL. Yeah. And this, so in our case, I'm going with this guy, purely MySQL one. The version is 5.7.x. I don't remember the other one. But you have to remember this version at least. This is the one. 5.7. And for RDS, we will have a separate admin user, not AWS console. Okay, separate admin user, and then the password. Like in IAM, right? You created users, right? Like separately. In RDS also. Separate users, and then the passwords. For every application, I want to use separate user, separate password. You can use that. Yeah. Complete. Yes. That is like whatever data from here, database concepts will apply. Yes, you can restrict it. Yes. Specific grant. That's what it is called, grants. You can do that. Whatever grant you want. Select or read only something grant you can do. Yes. Cool. Who is connecting to the database? Database. What info we need? Endpoint, port, and one more is the database name. These are the basic things needed for application to connect it. So who knows what database to use before us?
Developers.
That you have to ask them. Yeah, cool. So let's pass it for today here. We will continue tomorrow. We'll have a session for tomorrow. Yeah. Thank you, guys.